Welcome, Kim Speed. I'm so happy to see you this morning.
Thank you so much, Christine. I'm so happy to be joining you today.
Well, today we are going to have a great conversation, and I think it's a very timely conversation. So for everybody on Facebook, hi. If you're joining live, I would love for you to say good morning, hello, how are you, whatever works for you. And if you're joining in the replay, I would love for you to put hashtag replay. So today we're talking with Kim Speed about a topic that, oh my gosh, is always important and yet incredibly timely right now. So we're talking about recreating your business. So for anyone that's out there that is in your own business, has been in your own business, maybe was in your own business, or you're considering being in your own business, I think this is a conversation that is definitely going to contribute to you as you consider moving forward. So let me tell you a little bit about Kim Speed. I feel like I should have music in the background right now.
La, 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 la.
Kim Speed is a brand visibility expert, business mentor, speaker, recipient of the most influential business woman in brand development, Amazon best-selling author of Branding on a Shoestring. I really love that. How to recreate your small business identity and increase sales results in 83 days or less. That sounds fantastic. During her years in the corporate world, Kim worked in advertising as a creative director for some of the biggest global brands, including Coca-Cola, TD Bank, Ford, and Molson Corporations. After leaving the world of advertising, Kim started her own business, Purple Moon Creative, Branding and Marketing Boutique. I want to ask you about that title, where she helps budding and building entrepreneurs courageously step into their own spotlight to create brands that stand out and attract clients. I absolutely love that. So how long were you in the corporate world? And then how long have you been in your own business, Kim?
I was in the corporate world over 20 years, and I have had my own business 12 years now.
12 years. That's fantastic. So
Yeah.
you started in 2010.
Uh, actually, 2009. So I guess I'm on to my 13th year now.
Yeah, we started our
Oh
business
my
in
God.
the same year.
Oh,
That's
yes, yes.
wild. Oh my gosh, this is
Yeah.
great. So Kim, tell me what it is. What was it about going into your own business? Because I know you have a group. You interviewed me last week or 2 weeks ago. Time flies.
Yes.
And you have your own Facebook group that you really
Mhm.
talk to people about going into their own business and moving from employee to entrepreneur. What
Yeah.
was it for you that compelled you to move into being an entrepreneur?
Christine, I have to say, I call myself an accidental entrepreneur because I never planned on being an entrepreneur. I was a creative director. I worked in the advertising world. I loved what I did, and I really enjoyed working on the clients. These, Coca-Cola and
Right.
all the beer companies. That was fun. We had a great time, but one day we lost a huge client, and all of a sudden the company had to make some big decisions, and those decisions meant that a lot of us didn't have a job anymore.
Mhm.
And so I found myself without a job, and of course I just assumed that I was going to go and find another job. That's what you did.
Right.
And I was brought up that you go to school, you do well, go out and you get a good job. You might change jobs, but that's what you did. You worked for somebody. And then while I had some time at home after I had lost my position in the advertising company, I was putting all my resume back together, and networking with people, and just trying to figure out what my next move would be. But during that time, I got to spend time that I'd never had before with my kids, and I realized that, oh my gosh, I spend so much time away from them that I miss everything in their lives. Like, I left early in the morning and then come home late at night, and I'd have somebody else taking care of them. And that other person who I had to pay was getting the best part of their lives. I was missing it all. And I thought, something's got to change. Although I really enjoyed the type of work I did, my family was more important to me, and I wanted to be there. Like, I had waited a long time to, you know when it was right to have a family, and here I was just going, oh well, that's great. Now I'll leave.
Mm.
But I didn't realize it until I had the time to actually be present in their lives, and then actually have time for myself. So I didn't know what I was going to do, Christine. I didn't have a plan, and I don't advise this for everyone. But I said, that's it. I'm going to jump in and decide to have my own business. And I did just that. And um, that was 13 years ago. And I can't say it was all smooth sailing at all.
So glad
But
you said that. I'm so
yeah,
stop with the blarney. Like, stop with the blarney. Let's
yeah,
be real people. Let's like
yeah,
what company? Like, I mean, like the company you were working for. It wasn't all
yeah.
smooth sailing for them either. Like,
No,
we need to get honest, and we need to get honest with ourselves about truly
yes.
what is going on. Okay, let's jump in because I know everybody's gnawing at the bit on Facebook about the recreating your business. So we know that you became an accidental entrepreneur. That's awesome. And many people are saying, yeah, totally get that.
Yeah.
So what we want to talk about is this part about recreating your business. So can you start with telling me what's the difference between a brand and branding?
I would love to, because I find that this is really where people get confused, because everybody thinks of a brand as being a logo or your fonts and colors or your website or your packaging or your sign. And what I like to clarify is that is what I call branding. What a brand is really what's inside of you. It's who you are, it's what you stand for, it's the values that are important to you. Think about it as your personality and your character of your business. And if you think about it, you can actually define it as your brand is equal to your reputation. So when I get people that say to me, do I really need to work on a brand yet? I say, use that word reputation in replace that word brand with the word reputation. I think that you'll really realize how important it is, and that it doesn't have to start with all of the fun logos and website and things. It really is about who you are and how you want to be perceived by your clients, or your potential customers. And this image that you create so that you can help them understand whether you're the right one for them, or that you want to work with them, or whether you can help them. So it's really about making that distinct personality and characteristics of who you are and what you want to stand for. Then you bring the branding in. The
Right.
branding is important, but it's not as important if you don't have your brand understood, that real foundation of who you are and what reputation you're building.
I love the distinction because I can tell you when I first started, I mean, most people know I just jumped in. I
Mhm.
jumped in and I started. I mean, I started to do what I enjoyed. But when people talked about having a brand, I did exactly what you said. I thought of a logo. I thought,
Yeah,
okay, I got to get a logo and a pretty business card, and that's it. And when people
yeah,
kept talking about it, I'm like, what are they talking about? Like, I didn't understand it. But the distinction of what you've brought to our attention is so critical, because I know over the years, as I clarified and clarified and clarified who I was and what was important to me, the brand started coming out
yeah,
of me. And it certainly
yes.
would have been a lot easier had I done it the other way around.
Yeah. Well, and people are so busy trying to get, income coming in, and, you know, get traction with profits and goals and things like that. And that is important, but I really, I can't emphasize enough how understanding what's important to you, that internal piece, that's going to direct you on which direction you should take in your business as well. And then who you should start to attract, who you want to work with, so that you're not fighting against it, that you're going with, with the grain, you're
Yeah.
going with the flow, and it works
You're
so
going
much
with your
easier.
design, right?
Yeah.
The design of who you are is the
Yeah.
direction that will take you. That's brilliant.
Yeah.
Okay. So now how can a brand help you build a business?
A brand can help you build a business because, in essence, it's your brand is your best asset. Your brand is what. So let's define it this way: your business is what you sell, and your brand is what sells your business.
Oh, say that again. I'm typing it into Facebook. Say it again.
So your business is what you sell, and your brand is what sells your business.
Ah,
Your brand is what people are going to connect to, because let's face it, we are all craving human connection right now. There is really no such thing anymore as business to business or business to consumer sales. It's really about human to human. It's human to human connections. It's how do we help another person? It's who they are, what their problems are, and what can I do to solve those problems? That is the other half of the brand. So it's all about you, but then you have to have that connection with that ideal client, that specific audience, and how you can help them. And putting those two together
mhm.
is where the golden nugget is
That's where the
is
magic happens.
found. That's where the magic is
That's where the
happening.
magic happens. Okay. So tell us, in talking about recreating your business, tell us a little bit about that. And I know that you do have a free gift for everybody joining us today, and I'll be sharing that with everybody in the Facebook live. But can you tell us how that connects to recreating your business?
So when you're trying to get out there, if you're struggling with reaching your goals or reaching your profits, a lot of times this work hasn't been done. So what I like to do is with my clients is just say, okay, let's take a look and peel the layers back. What is it that's in the core there that's so important to who you are and what you do?
Mhm.
And how do we want to define that? So I love to help people think about, how do you want to be perceived? If you had somebody that you knew go and you weren't there, but they were talking to somebody else, and they were to describe you to somebody, how would you like them to describe you? So, what are the words or adjectives that you would love to hear them say? Are you professional? Are you, do you help people, with success? Are you, you know, a luxurious uh, brand? Are you a fun brand? What are some of those characteristics that you bring in that make you who you are and make you distinct and make you connect with the right types of people that you want to work with, or customers that you can help? That's where you can first start. And when you start to do that and recreate who you are and really have an understanding of um, that essence that you bring, that uniqueness, this is the things that you can start to bring into your messaging, and how you, that voice that you have, and into the different pillars of your communications. What are the things that this type of personality, this character, a lot of times it's a personal brand. So, you can really get even deeper into understanding who you are and bringing those things out into, how do I communicate to my people about things that are important, and attract them and show them that I understand them. When we start to do that, then we actually are recreating. We're not actually recreating who we are, but we're recreating how people understand us.
Ah,
And we are creating that new messaging, and we're starting to get people to go, what did you say? Oh, can you say that again? When you get those people that that you understand and you know what they're looking for, then they're leaning in. When you get them to lean in, then that's how you start to evolve
Right.
and bring in more of those people and turn them into clients.
So, how difficult is it for someone, let's say it was you or I, we've been in business for a number of years. How difficult is it for us to kind of jump tracks, as it were, really change the direction of our business? We've put hundreds and hundreds of hours into building our platforms, into building our profiles, into building our messaging out there. How difficult is it really to switch?
Well, I have to say, Christine, it's not about how difficult it is. Like, what is the reason that you're switching? So, are you just switching because you think that you're bored, or are you going after a new audience? Do you have a new product or service that you're offering? These are things that I would say bring up a reason to recreate, a rebrand. And when you have a proper reason, that makes it easier to recreate that
Right.
image and that message. But if you're just doing it because you think you're not making enough money, then we have to go deeper into what is the real problem here.
Right. That makes
Yeah,
total sense.
yeah.
So I know that you've got a book out there, and you go ahead and tell everybody the free gift that you're giving everybody. This is amazing.
Well, I wrote a book called Branding on a Shoestring: How to Recreate Your Small Business Identity and Increase Sales in 83 Days or Less. And really, what that means, Christine, is it's about your 90-day plan, because I like to work in 90-day chunks. And 83 is 1 week less than 90 days. So you have a week to decide what you need to change, and then we get into the nitty gritty of what you have to do that. So this book I'm giving as a gift to your audience for free. And Christine has a link that she'll share with you that you
Yes,
can go and get that.
absolutely. So Kim, if I'm someone, because different people are popping in my mind, even myself, like I'm thinking about what you're sharing. Um, for someone who does not feel that they need to recreate the entirety of their business, are there going to be golden nuggets in your book as well to support them that you
Oh, yes,
fine
yes.
tune and
Definitely. I
accent?
have a step-by-step process, but it's easy to go through and say, if you have an existing business, like, okay, I understand this, but I do have to say, it's good to read it from step by step and go through the process, even if you're an established business, because sometimes we forget and we take for granted that we know some of these things, how we want to be perceived, our values. If you have a team now, it's good to go through it with your team so that you're all on the same page, because they can't, as much as you think they can't read your mind, and we don't.
What? I
Yeah,
thought
we
I
don't
hired
always.
psychics.
We don't always take the time to go through this. And sometimes you'll find that if you go through these processes, things have evolved for yourself, because brands do evolve, just like your personality. So it's nice to make sure that you're on the same mindset with everybody and yourself. But you're going to get different ways to think about things, different ways to communicate. Um, Maybe you're going to come up with fresher messaging that
Mm.
you can use, something that's more relevant. Get into those the audience that you serve, and start to really think about what are they looking for. How do you bring joy back into their life? How do you solve a problem for them? What kind of experiences do you provide for them that make them feel like they're number one?
I think this kind of what popping in my mind, it's kind of like spring cleaning your business. You know,
Yes,
everybody
yes.
needs to dust off all the old cobwebs and kind of clean things out and take a fresh look at where you are. And is it resonating for today? And is it in alignment for what you imagined? Like I
Yeah.
oftentimes will speak to my entrepreneurs and go, okay, I want you to go back to that moment, close your eyes, go back to that moment when this started to come to you that this is something that you wanted to do, reconnect with that excitement, and then look at where you are today
Right.
and what excitement can you pull in there? And, what else is it that's missing that would really bring you to the next level?
Exactly. It may not be a huge change, but it might be a slight shift. And it might give you that realization that, you know what? I think we can be clearer with our messaging, or we could freshen up our look a bit, and or simplify it, or you know what? We're not using our look and feel to our benefit. So
I,
it'll help you just clarify.
I love it. Okay, we've got so much activity in Facebook. I'm trying to keep up answering and commenting and everything. This has been fantastic. Thank you so much for being so generous with your offer. We've got people saying, I can't wait to read your book. This is awesome. They're so thrilled.
Fantastic.
I really love this. I'm also going to put all of your contact information there. And so people can reach out and they can see what's going on with you and where they can connect with you. And any last words that you want to share with anybody that's watching?
Oh, anybody that's out there that's, you know, a budding or a building entrepreneur, if you're ever thinking that you're struggling with your profits or your goals, and sometimes it's just like such a challenge, take a look at what you're saying and who you're saying it to, and just have a moment to give yourself some time to tweak that, or assess that brand of yours. And sometimes just doing a little bit, it's amazing how you'll get a really wonderful refresh on who you are.
I love that. We all need a little refresh. Okay, my last question. Where did the name come from? Purple Moon.
Okay, so well, let's go back to that time where I was becoming an entrepreneur, and I was, making that decision to, do I go and get a full-time job, or do I actually do this as a way to make a living for myself and pay my bills? And I was, like I said, I didn't have a plan, but I was driving one evening, and I was thinking about this, and I was really, on the cusp of, okay, this is really, I know this is what I want. And if I'm going to do it, I really have to jump in, like, and mean it. Like, I can't be wishy-washy on this. And as I was doing that, there was this huge, I think they call it a harvest moon, and it felt like it was right at the end of the road, and it felt like it was drawing me in, pulling me towards that it was okay to follow this path. So it's kind of woo woo, and I'm not very woo woo, but it just had this hue, and it was like a purple hue
I
over
love that.
this bright moon. Yeah.
I
So that's
really, really love that story. You need to lead with that more often. Get a little more woo-woo in your life, Kim. Fantastic. Oh, thank you so much for today. I'm excited to read your book as well. And I know that everybody that's joining us on Facebook are as well. So how does it get any better than that?
well, thank you so much, Christine, for having me. This has been a pleasure.
Good. Awesome. Okay, everybody, share this on Facebook. Lots of people need to get the support that's here, and Kim is definitely here to support all of the brands. So thank you all for joining us. Thank you again, Kim, and we will see you next time on another Facebook Live where we're learning all about the brilliant people in the world. Bye for now.
Bye now.